Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You are standing in front of a mirror, but this mirror doesn't reflect your face. It doesn't reflect your body. It reflects something much deeper, something invisible, yet profoundly real. This mirror reveals the hidden patterns, the silent programs, the invisible codes that have been running your life without your awareness. And suddenly, you begin to realize that what has been blocking your dreams was never the lack of effort, never the absence of desire, never the universe ignoring your prayers, but something much closer, something living inside you. Maybe you've tried, over and over again, repeating affirmations, visualizing, doing vision boards, writing down your goals, whispering to the universe, "Please, I'm ready, I deserve it." And yet, the reality seems stubborn, unmoved, unresponsive, and deep inside, a quiet, painful question echoes, "Why? Why isn't it working for me?" This is not because you are broken. It's not because you are unlucky, and it's certainly not because you are unworthy. No. The real reason is something Bruce Lipton discovered in the invisible realm of biology, in the secret language between your cells and your subconscious mind. You see, for most of your life, 95% of your thoughts, emotions, and actions have not been conscious choices. They are not truly yours. They are echoes of the past, programs, patterns, inherited beliefs absorbed from childhood, from trauma, from society, from fear. Your conscious mind, the part of you that desires, that dreams, that visualizes a better future, operates only 5% of the time. The rest, the overwhelming majority, is ruled by the subconscious. And the subconscious does not listen to what you want. It only responds to what you believe at the deepest, often invisible level. There is a biological illusion that convinces you that you are consciously creating your life. But beneath the surface, your cells are listening, not to your words, not to your affirmations, but to the frequency, the emotional signature of your subconscious beliefs. If those beliefs are wired in fear, in lack, in unworthiness, then no matter how beautiful your affirmations sound, your body, your energy, your entire field continues broadcasting the old signal of limitation. Bruce Lipton says it clearly. It's not your genes, it's your beliefs that control your biology. This is not just a metaphor, this is biological fact. Your beliefs are chemistry, your emotions are electrical signals. Together they create the electromagnetic field that tells the universe exactly who you are. And this is where the pain hides, in the incoherence between what you think and what you feel. Joe Dispenza explains this beautifully. When your thoughts say, "I am abundant," but your emotions are still rooted in fear, in doubt, in the frequency of "I don't have it," the electromagnetic field of your heart and brain collapses. There is no coherence, there is no resonance, and without resonance, the quantum field cannot mirror back the reality you desire. This is why so many people try so hard. They say the right words, they think the right thoughts, but their lives don't change. Because words are not magic because of the sound. Words are magic only when they carry the frequency, the emotional permission, the subconscious alignment that allows the cells, the body, the energy field to believe, to feel, to embody a new reality. And this is where the true magic begins, not with the mind alone, not with the mouth alone, but with the frequency, the embodied energy that your subconscious recognizes as safe, as real, as true. So, if you've ever wondered why your dreams seem delayed, why the universe feels silent, know this: it's not the universe ignoring you, it's your biology, reflecting back the frequency you've been programmed to carry. And once you understand this, truly understand this, you hold the key, the sacred key to change everything. Because it was never about forcing reality to change. It was always about changing the frequency that reality responds to. There's something profoundly unsettling, yet deeply liberating, about realizing this truth. Most of what you call your life is not actually being created by your conscious mind. It's being driven silently, automatically by invisible programs embedded deep within your subconscious. Programs so old, so familiar, that you don't even notice they're there. Bruce Lipton calls this the cellular memory. Imagine for a moment that every cell in your body is like a tiny radio, constantly receiving and constantly transmitting frequencies. But here's the painful paradox. While your conscious mind may be broadcasting, "I desire abundance, I deserve love, I am ready for healing," your subconscious might still be playing an entirely different station. A station filled with static, filled with the echoes of lack, fear, rejection, failure, unworthiness, and this creates a silent war, an invisible conflict between two forces within you, one part desperately calling for change, and another unknowingly pulling you back into the old familiar patterns. Your biology, your very cells, are not responding to your conscious desires. They are responding to the subconscious vibration, the emotional atmosphere that surrounds them every single day. When that atmosphere is filled with unresolved fear, with old stories of pain, with the belief that the world is unsafe, your cells do exactly what they are designed to do. They move into protection mode. They shut down growth. They shut down expansion. They shut down receptivity. They stop listening to the frequency of possibility and start obeying the command of survival. And survival does not create dreams. Survival does not manifest abundance. Survival creates contraction, hesitation, exhaustion, frustration, and that becomes the invisible wall, the heavy, suffocating wall that stands between you and the life you so deeply long for. Think about this. Someone may be desperately trying to manifest financial freedom. They meditate, visualize, repeat, "I am abundant," over and over. But deep inside, beneath all those words, there's a program whispering, "It's not safe. Money doesn't come easily. Success is for others, not for me. If I have more, I'll lose. I'm not worthy." And no matter how beautiful the vision board looks, the body, the subconscious, keeps rejecting the signal because the cells are not tuned to receiving abundance. They are tuned to protecting against perceived danger. This is why the first magic word is not about attracting. It's not about calling something in. No, the first magic word is about releasing. Releasing the invisible resistance that holds your biology, your energy, your entire being hostage to the past. It's about teaching your nervous system, your cells, your subconscious that it is finally safe to let go of survival and open the door to creation, because until your body feels safe, until your cells believe, truly believe, that it is safe to grow, to receive, to expand, no amount of conscious desire can override the program of fear. This is not just mindset. This is biology, this is chemistry, this is vibration, and this is the beginning of true manifestation. When your cells, your subconscious, your entire frequency, stop saying no and finally whisper with certainty, with coherence, with peace, yes. There's a deep and often painful confusion that quietly sabotages the path of those who seek to manifest a new reality. It's the misunderstanding of what belief truly is. For most, belief is treated like a mental exercise, a desperate attempt to convince the mind, to force thoughts into alignment, to repeat words until they somehow become true. But this is not belief. This is not how the universe listens, and it is certainly not how your biology responds. Belief is not a thought. Belief is not a mantra. Belief is a biological state, a living frequency that pulses through your cells, your nervous system, your electromagnetic field. Bruce Lipton's work reveals this with stunning clarity. In his experiments, he showed that beliefs are not abstract ideas. They are chemical signals. They literally alter the way your genes express themselves, how proteins fold, how cells communicate. Your biology is not separate from your consciousness. Your biology is the reflection of your subconscious frequencies. But the misunderstanding runs deeper, because many believe that if they just think positive, if they just repeat the right words, the shift will happen. But Greg Braden expands this truth even further. He teaches that your heart and your brain together form a measurable electromagnetic field, and this field is the interface between you and the fabric of reality. When your thoughts and your emotions are incoherent, that field collapses. It becomes chaotic, fragmented, unable to send a clear signal to the quantum field. This is why manifestation so often fails, because thinking without feeling is noise. Noise that the universe cannot decode. Your subconscious cannot be tricked by words. Your cells cannot be manipulated by logic. They respond only to the frequency you embody, not what you say, not what you want, but what you are, chemically, emotionally, vibrationally, in this very moment. And so, belief, real belief, is not about convincing the mind. It is about embodying a coherent emotional state that matches the reality you wish to experience. If the words say, "I am loved," but the nervous system still vibrates with the ache of abandonment, there is no alignment. If the thoughts say, "I am wealthy," but the body carries the tension, the contraction, the fear of scarcity, there is no coherence. The second magic word is the key that activates this alignment. A word not designed to manipulate reality, but to bring your thoughts, your emotions, and your frequency into harmonic resonance. It is the moment when the mind stops arguing with the heart, when the old stories lose their grip, when the body feels what the mind declares. And in that coherence, the electromagnetic field expands, it stabilizes, it becomes a clear signal, a magnetic invitation to the quantum field. This is where manifestation stops being effort and starts becoming a natural, biological, and energetic consequence. Not because you forced it, not because you demanded it, but because you became the living frequency of what you desire. Without this embodiment, belief is just noise. But with it, belief becomes the most powerful force your biology, your energy, and the universe can ever respond to. There is a silent trap hidden deep within the very biology of your brain, a trap that most never realize they've fallen into. It's subtle, seductive, deceiving, because it feels like action, it feels like effort, it feels like progress. But in truth, it's the very force that keeps what you desire just out of reach. It begins with a chemical, a molecule called dopamine. Dopamine is not pleasure, it is not satisfaction. Dopamine is craving, the neurochemical signature of pursuit, of seeking, of wanting something that is not yet here. Every time you visualize your desire, but feel the ache of not having it, dopamine fires. Every time you say, "I need this, I hope this happens, I want this so much," dopamine surges. And the body, the brain, the nervous system, all synchronize into a single powerful signal. A signal that says, "I don't have it yet." Joe Dispenza's research confirms this profound paradox. When the brain is trapped in the frequency of not having, the quantum field responds accordingly. The more you chase, the more you signal to the universe that what you desire is still missing. The quantum field, the mirror of your consciousness, can only reflect back the frequency you emit, and the frequency of seeking is the frequency of lack. This is why, for so many, the more they desire, the more they visualize, the more they affirm, the greater the emptiness grows, because the body becomes addicted to the chemistry of wanting rather than the embodiment of having. And so, the future you are calling never arrives, not because it doesn't exist, but because the signal being sent is a signal of absence, not of presence. There is a painful paradox here. The more desperately you want, the more you reinforce the vibration that you do not yet have. The more you seek, the more distant the reality becomes. The universe is not punishing, it is simply responding faithfully to the energetic command embedded within your emotional state. But there is a way out of this trap, a way that does not involve chasing, but shifting. Neuroscience shows that when the body moves from dopamine-driven craving into serotonin-based states of satisfaction, safety, and contentment. Everything changes. Serotonin, the chemistry of being, the chemistry of I am safe now, I am whole now, I am enough now. And in this state, the body stops searching. The nervous system relaxes, the electromagnetic field stabilizes, and the quantum field finally recognizes a new signal. This is where the third magic word emerges, a word not designed to ask, not designed to beg, but to embody, to become, to vibrate, as if the desired reality is already here, not pretending, not forcing, but genuinely feeling as if the future has already arrived and is living within you. When this shift happens, something miraculous unfolds. The constant craving dissolves, the endless pursuit softens, and what once felt distant, what once felt like a far-off dream, begins to flow towards you effortlessly, magnetically, naturally, because manifestation was never about seeking. It was always about remembering how to become the frequency of what you desire. There is a truth, often invisible, yet profoundly real, that quietly determines whether your dreams unfold or remain distant shadows. It is a truth hidden, not in the words you speak, not in the thoughts you repeat, but in the energetic posture your body holds, moment after moment. And this truth is simple, yet deeply confronting. The frequency of control is the enemy of creation. Bruce Lipton's cellular science reveals something extraordinary and perhaps deeply unsettling. Your cells, the very building blocks of your existence, cannot grow and protect at the same time. It is a biological impossibility. When the nervous system perceives threat, whether real or imagined, the body instantly shifts into survival, into protection. And in protection, every system contracts. Blood flows away from growth, from healing, from openness, and rushes towards defense, towards fight, towards escape. Your electromagnetic field collapses, your resonance dissolves. This is the biological mirror of what happens when you try to force the universe, when you grip timelines, when you demand outcomes, when you hold the vibration of this must happen, it has to be now. In that grip, the body releases cortisol, adrenaline, stress hormones. The heart rhythm becomes erratic. The brain loses coherence. The electromagnetic field becomes chaotic. And the quantum field, the infinite mirror of your being, cannot reflect clarity where only incoherence exists. And so, control becomes a silent enemy, not because the universe rejects you, not because you are unworthy, but because the frequency of control scrambles the signal. It sends a message of fear, of distrust, of separation. It declares, without words, I don't believe, I don't trust, I don't feel safe, and the quantum responds perfectly to that signal. This is why so often, the more you try, the harder it feels. The more you push, the more reality resists. Not because life is cruel, but because your energy has shifted out of coherence and into contraction. But there is another way, a way that is not about forcing, but about entering the frequency of coherence. Bruce Lipton's research, Joe Dispenza's work, Greg Braden's teachings, they all converge on this one truth. Manifestation is not attraction. It is resonance. Reality does not give you what you demand. It gives you what you are vibrationally, emotionally, energetically. And coherence is the doorway. When the heart and the brain enter a rhythm of harmony, the electromagnetic field expands, stabilizes, becomes a powerful, clear, magnetic signal. The body releases chemicals of safety, serotonin, oxytocin, endorphins. The nervous system shifts from fight or flight into rest, into openness, into creation. This is not philosophy. It is biology. It is physics. It is the architecture of consciousness itself. There are ways, simple yet profound, to enter this coherence. Practices like heart-centered breathing, slowing the exhale, imagining the breath moving in and out of the heart, recalibrate the nervous system. They send a new message to the subconscious, to the cells, to the quantum field. a message that says, it is safe now, I am safe now, I trust, I allow. And even the language you use shifts the frequency. When you stop speaking from desperation, from fear, from timelines, and begin speaking from presence, from gratitude, from embodiment, everything starts to change. The cells soften, the heart opens, the electromagnetic field strengthens, and the quantum mirror begins to rearrange reality in response. Because life was never designed to be forced. It was always designed to be received through the sacred resonance of coherence. There is something most people were never taught, something profoundly misunderstood about the true power of words. You see, words are not magic because of what they mean intellectually. Words are magic because of the frequency they carry, the vibration they transmit, the emotional charge they encode. Your cells, your subconscious, the entire electromagnetic field of your being are not listening to the literal meaning of your words. They are listening to the tone, to the emotional resonance, to the truth that lives beneath the words. Bruce Lipton's research makes this startlingly clear. Your cells are not passive. They are conscious listeners, eavesdropping every moment on the thoughts you think, and more importantly, on the feelings you embody. When you speak, your words become chemical messengers, but the body doesn't ask, is this statement grammatically correct? Or does this sound spiritually sophisticated? No, the body asks, is this safe? Is this true? Do I believe this vibration at the subconscious, emotional, biological level? And this is where so many unknowingly fall into the hidden trap of spiritual bypass. They stand in front of the mirror, repeating, I am abundant, I am healthy, I am loved, but beneath those words, the nervous system trembles, the gut tightens, the heart contracts, a silent scream echoes beneath the surface. This isn't true. I don't feel safe. I don't believe it. And the cells, they don't respond to the words. They respond to that scream, to the emotional dissonance, to the incoherence between what is said and what is truly felt. Neville Goddard, the great teacher of consciousness, spoke of this with piercing clarity. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, not the thought, not the sentence, but the feeling. Because without the felt sense, without the emotional embodiment, words are dead signals, empty sounds, drifting in a field that does not respond to noise, but to frequency. This is the sacred art of recalibrating language. It's not about forcing affirmations. It's not about layering words on top of wounds. It's about choosing words that your nervous system can believe, that your body can soften into, that your cells recognize as safe, as true as possible. Instead of saying, I am wealthy, when every cell screams in disbelief, you shift, you whisper, I am open to the possibility that wealth feels safe for me. Instead of declaring, I am healed, while the body trembles, you breathe and say, my body is learning how to feel safe in healing. The words become bridges, not commands. Bridges that guide the subconscious from resistance into resonance. Because words, when paired with embodied emotion, become frequency codes. They become instructions, not for the logical mind, but for the electromagnetic field of your being. And when that field changes, when the body believes, when the cells feel safe, the quantum field listens, not to what you say, but to who you are beneath the words. This is the sacred language, the language of energy, the language of biology, the language your cells, your soul, and the universe have been waiting for you to remember. And now, perhaps for the first time, something begins to make sense. Something clicks, not in the logical mind, but in a deeper place, in the space where intuition lives, where your soul listens, where your cells remember. Because manifestation, it was never about asking. It was never about begging the universe or convincing reality to deliver what you want. It was always about frequency, about becoming the living, breathing, vibrating embodiment of what you desire. The three magic words, they are not spells. They are not verbal formulas. They are frequency keys, each one unlocking a different layer of your subconscious, your biology, your electromagnetic field. The first, release. Because nothing flows where there is resistance. Your cells cannot receive when they are trapped in survival. The frequency of release is the frequency of safety. It tells the nervous system it is safe to soften, to let go, to stop fighting, to stop bracing against life. Without release, the door remains closed. The second, align. Because manifestation is not about thinking harder. It is about coherence. It is about aligning thought, emotion, and frequency into a singular, powerful signal. When the mind declares and the heart feels and the body believes, reality has no choice but to respond. Alignment is the sacred meeting point where the future you desire touches the present moment. And the third, embody. Because the universe does not respond to words, it responds to being. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. And when you embody, when every cell of your being vibrates as if the desired reality is already here, the quantum mirror reflects that reality without delay, without resistance. Bruce Lipton's voice echoes here, so clearly, so profoundly. It's not your genes, it's your beliefs that control your biology. Your body is not a prisoner of genetics. Your body is a mirror of your subconscious frequency, a living field, constantly transmitting, constantly receiving, constantly shaping the world around you. And Neville Goddard's timeless wisdom returns with quiet power. Imagination is God, but not imagination as a fleeting thought. Imagination as a felt reality, a lived vibration, a chemistry of being, because only when the imagined feels real does the subconscious accept it as truth. And here is the truth that changes everything. The universe does not give you what you ask for. It does not deliver based on your word, your prayers, your rituals. The universe mirrors who you are being, chemically, emotionally, energetically, in every moment. So the question that lingers, the question that gently rests in the space between your breaths, is this: who are you when no one is watching? What frequency does your body carry when the words are silent, when the affirmations are gone, when it's just you, your breath, your being, and the infinite field listening? Because the shift, the real shift, begins not when you demand life to change, but when your frequency whispers, I am already the version of me, that my dreams are calling, and that changes everything. Before we close, I want to invite you to take this message and turn it into a living intention. If this video resonated with you, if something within you whispered, this is what I needed to hear, then let's expand this frequency together. I would love to know, what step, what small but powerful shift are you ready to embody? Starting today, share in the comments. What is the new frequency you're choosing to release, to align, or to embody? And if you feel comfortable, tell me where in the world you are tuning in from. It's always beautiful to see how this community, this field of resonance, connects souls from every corner of the planet. And if this space feels like home to your heart, if these words nourished something deep within you, remember to subscribe to the channel, activate the notifications so you don't miss the next conversation, the next opening, the next key to your transformation. Because this is not just a channel, this is a sacred field, a space for those who are ready to stop chasing life and start becoming the frequency that life responds to. Now, I'm grateful, truly grateful, that your energy is part of this field.